OffBeat Sports Podcast presented by Celsius.
It's been a tale of two seasons for the Boston Celtics.
I probably aged about 10 years just from that series.
I'd probably compare myself to just a younger, smarter, more handsome, stronger Michael Jordan.
Let's go Celtics. Go Patriots.
These are guys who, when you give them a bowl of Cheerios in the morning, they finish every last drop of milk.
Absolute clown over here.
I'm ready when you are, baby.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast presented. Today, we are continuing our interview series called OffBeat University, where we interview Division I college athletes, both male and female, from many different sports to get the full perspective into the lives of our student athletes. Today, we're joined by Chris Domercant, wide receiver for the Stonehill College's football team. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you for having me.
So how do you feel about Stonehill step up to the Division I level from the NE10 to the NEC?
Yeah, it's honestly been pretty huge. It's a very big opportunity for us to, compete at the highest level for collegiate sports. So we're just trying to get better every day so that we can be able to compete with those guys, play with those guys. We know it's going to be a tough challenge, obviously adjusting to that game level speed, bigger, better, faster players. So we just got to be prepared when we hit NEC comp.
Yeah, so we recently actually had former Stonehill receiver and kind of a Stonehill football legend, Andrew Jamil, on the show. And he was talking about how you guys have a really talented group at the receiver position. And if you guys stayed D2, honestly, your team probably would have won the conference. And he expects you guys to really surprise people at the Division I level. And so I was texting him before, and I was telling him how we're having you on. And he said he's worked out with you a few times, and he said how talented you are. So, like, what does praise like that from a guy of his caliber mean to you?
Yeah, it's honestly it's amazing to hear from him, especially because he's still playing, and hopefully he gets a shot at the professional level. He's a hell of a talented kid. Obviously he helped me a lot throughout the summer with running routes and just football IQ stuff. So honestly, it's a big honor hearing that from him.
So, I mean, going to Stonehill, that's D1, you obviously had a lot of options that you could have selected to go to school. So during your recruitment and college selection process, what kind of stood out to you about Stonehill that made you want to choose there over other Division I or even high Division II schools?
Yeah, honestly, the campus, it was beautiful when I first stepped on. I thought it felt like home. Obviously, I kind of wanted to stay in Mass, represent the backyard a little bit. And the coaching staff, for the most part, it was a friendly environment. I knew the coaches, they had a vision for me and what they wanted to do. And that and the facilities too, the athletic facilities, it's a great place to be to train and get better. So I'd say those for sure.
So I can't go through this interview without asking about last week's game versus Post University, where you guys won 76-0, which is absolutely absurd. And I'm sure towards the end of the game, you guys weren't playing as hard or putting in backups because you guys didn't score in the fourth quarter. But talk to us a little about that dominant win. How does something like that feel? Because that's just insane.
Yeah, honestly, it feels great. Honestly, it was all throughout the preparation throughout the week and practices that led up to it. Obviously, the week before, we had a hard-fought game against Bloomsburg where it came down to the wire. And we honestly thought that we should have played better and put better film on the tape. So throughout practice the next week, we just try to hammer down on the little details. We established our identity of tough, hard-nosed football, and obviously that showed on last Saturday.
Yeah, that's a crazy win. I mean, made a statement. I mean, people are going to be noticing.
Yeah.
So obviously playing for the team, there's a lot of different elements of playing for Stonehill. And I know it's a broad question, but what would you say your favorite part of playing for Stonehill is out of everything?
Yeah. Honestly, probably the brotherships I've built with my teammates. There's a lot of guys that I'm close with on this team that I look to as family, and being able to play with them, be on the same field as them, younger, older, it doesn't matter. We're all a family, and I'd say that's probably been the best part, is being able to play with them for sure.
Yeah, so as you guys enter NEC play and playing some Division I teams, what are your expectations for the team and also for yourself personally?
Yeah, so for the team, I'd probably just say we want to just establish our identity throughout the conference. We want to be known for playing tough, hard, disciplined football. And yeah, I think we'll be able to establish that identity rather quickly. For me personally, I'd probably just say I want to be able to honestly just be one of the top receivers in the league. That's like been my goal ever since stepping onto the field. I just want to be the best in everything I do. So I'd say, yeah, just being a top receiver in the league.
So being a Division I athlete, there's obviously a lot of time that you have to dedicate to practice, to game preparation on top of your academics. So playing for Stonehill, which for those who don't know is a Division I school, talk to us a little bit about the balance of your schoolwork and your classes with the rigorous schedule for football.
Yeah, honestly, coming in, it was kind of tough getting used to that at first. Obviously, there's a lot of time dedicated towards football with practices, meetings, things like that. But you got to be able to manage your own time on your own. Like no one's going to be able to hold your hand throughout the process. You got to be able to set a time for academics, homework, meeting with teachers and stuff like that. So I'd probably just saying being able to learn that aspect of, living is just being able to manage my time better throughout the week and being able to set times aside for me to hammer away homework and stuff.
So for you, I'm assuming you grew up a fan of the game, fan of the NFL. So are there any professional football players that you looked up to growing up or you could compare your game to?
Yeah, I'd probably say probably Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, and Justin Jefferson, because they got similar body builds to me, like taller, lankier receivers. I'm not known for being an overly physically dominating player, strength-wise, but being able to just be precise in their route running and catching the football and winning their one-on-one matchups, I'd probably say those three guys right there.
Hey, that's a talented group right there. So that just about wraps up what we got for you today. Thank you, Chris, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks for
best of
coming
luck
on.
this season. Thanks everyone watching and listening. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at offbeat_sports. Check us out on TikTok at offbeat sports, and make sure you're on the lookout for the next installation of the Offbeat University series. We got a bunch in the works. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.